What is it that you want out of life? What is it that you want from God? What promises from the scriptures or that the Lord has told you specifically are you clinging to and you're holding on to, waiting for fulfillment? Now ask yourself, what are you doing in your life right now to make room for these things? Galatians chapter 6, verse 7 and 9 says, "Do not be deceived, God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows," this means plant, "that he will also reap." This means harvest back, right? So whatever he plants in the ground, he will harvest back. "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in the right season we will reap if we do not lose heart," or we will get a return if we don't lose heart and quit, right? So there's a principle called reaping and sowing, and we're briefly touching on it right now. Essentially what it means is whatever you plant or whatever you put out into the world, that's the harvest you're going to get back. So every single word that you speak is what you're planting into the world. Every action that you take is what you're planting in the world. Every interaction with a person is what you're planting. So how you deal with people, how you deal with situations, everything, whatever you're putting out is what you're gonna get returned. That's the kind of harvest. So if you're putting evil into the world, you're gonna get an evil and tainted and a corrupted return. So in order to have a harvest in your life, you need to plant. And on that same note, if you want a good harvest in your life, a good return, then you need to plant good things. But in order to bring in a harvest, good or bad, you got to make room for this harvest. In order to store a harvest, you have to make room for this harvest. And in order to make room for the harvest, oftentimes you have to let go of certain things. You have to unload. And in order to unload, you must send these things back out into the world. So if you're looking at life in that context, in order to have a massive good return, you have to send a massive amount back into the world to make room for it. This means that you're expected to give back into other people, to give back to your communities. We're expected to do that. God designed everything, so instead of just always taking for ourselves, we're designed to be giving. And God arranged a system called reaping and sowing to honor those people who are following by those rules of, hey, you put good into the world, good, I'm gonna bring good back to you. If you put an evil into the world, guess what? I will bring back to you. It's like that scripture that says, those who live by the sword will die by the sword. That's what this is, it's reaping and sowing. For all of us, it's easy to get sucked into the day-to-days of life, to always just be worried about ourselves, worried about our own families, worry about our own career, to worry about our own things. Because, life isn't easy. We're expected to produce and to take care of people and take care of ourselves, to build a career and a path for ourselves. But the problem with that is that we can start living a selfish life if we're not careful. What I want when I want it, and is rearranged to help me and my ambitions and my goals rather than the world around me. If you're a parent who has children, what would you teach them? Would you teach them, hey, it's all about you, take, never give anything back? Absolutely not. One thing that you're gonna teach your kids, if you're a good parent, is how to demonstrate love and forgiveness and empathy to the people and the world around you. To not look at the homeless person down the street and judge, but rather have compassion on them, right? And then actually actively seek out on how to help them. Whether it's simple as saying a prayer for them, or actually going out and helping them in other ways. But that's just an example. It is no different with God. He is our Father, and He's gonna be teaching His children the same thing, but on a more perfect and complete level. Given to the communities around you, given to the family, given to the friends, given to strangers. He's gonna be teaching you as a good father on how to love on the people around you. Not just take from them, but to actually give back. And not to just give back, but to give good things, or to plant good seeds for a good harvest. So what does that look like, right? That can be as simple as giving, literally giving things, monetarily, time, energy or just being ready to be used by God on a day-to-day basis to reach out to the world around you, whether through encouragement, whether praying for people, whether sharing the gospel about Jesus to people. People are struggling. They need help. And God will use willing people to be able to plant good seeds in those people's lives so they can experience their own harvest and so we can experience ours. There's a scripture in 1 Timothy 5:18. The laborer is worthy of his wages. What you're putting in, you're actually getting a return for your work. God says you're worthy of that. So if you're putting out evil into the world, God's saying that you're worthy of the wages of evil, which is corruption, which is toxicity, which is depression, which is anxiety, which is all sorts of things. You put violence into the world, violence is coming into your life. You're bringing destruction into the world, destruction is coming into your life. And the opposite is true as well. You put love into the world, God is going to pave the way to give you favor to be loved on by people you don't even know. If you're constantly giving and sharing and not hoarding, guess what's going to happen? The people that are going to start surrounding you are going to be people that do the same thing. God's going to arrange circumstances in your life where people are doing the same thing. If you're constantly gossiping and talking bad about other people, guess what's going to be happening around you? People are going to be constantly gossiping and talking bad around you. It's just the way it works. What you give into the world is what is going to come back. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured right back to you." Isn't that cool? What you put out into the world is what you're going to get in abundance. The thing about harvest is you plant one seed, the plant that can grow can usually produce hundreds of seeds. So planting just one evil seed into the world can produce hundreds of evil seeds or fruit back to you. And the same goes with the good. It will be a harvest that, like the scripture says, will be pressed down to the complete filling and running over. So be conscious of that. Whatever you're putting into the world, the communities and people and world around you, you could get, just out of one word, you could get 100 of those words back in the same context. One evil deed can bring back 100 back to you. So the question is, what are you doing in your life actively, day to day, to be a blessing to the people around you? What you want God to be blessing you and to be pouring His favor into your life when you're not doing the same thing for other people? Are you constantly consuming good and not giving good back into the world? Are you always expecting people to be fair and kind to you, but are you being fair and kind to other people? What lasting impact are you making? God created you for a purpose. God created you for a specific mission. This mission is to be a blessing and a force for good in this world. It's to be the exact opposite of what we were before we got saved, before we came to Christ. Instead of constantly just taking, God's like, it's time to give back. So, what are you doing actively on a day-to-day to be a blessing to the people around you? How are you allowing God regularly to work through you? If you can't answer these questions, or if you can, but the answer is that you're not doing much, if anything at all, go to God. Just let God know. Just be like, hey God, I want to be used by you. I want to be a force for good for the people around me, for the lives around me, for people I don't know, for people I don't even like. Please use me to plant good seeds into this world that last. Right? If you can actually rattle off a list of things that you know you're actively doing to plant good seeds in the world, answer this question though. What is your heart condition and your heart posture in doing these things? Is it from selfish ambition, or is it a genuine desire to help the people around you? And for myself, I can tell you, it can go both ways. Oftentimes it can be you are genuinely serving the people around you, but then you can mix it with selfish ambition. This reaping and sowing method, it is a biblical, eternal principle that's been around since the beginning of time. However, the point of it isn't to tell you, hey, give so you can get. The point is to show you that you're designed to put good things into the world. And as a reward for that, God will put good things into your life. But always be aware of the heart posture you have in putting these things out in the world, because suddenly, without realizing it, you could start doing all of these things, these good things for the world around you, for selfish reason. And guess what? Now you're putting selfish seeds out into the world. Suddenly, these good seeds are tainted with selfish ambition. So what kind of harvest is that going to produce? So what is it you want out of life? What is it that you want from God? And what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to make room for these things?